Welcome back to my quiet, cozy corner of the internet, a space to slow down, reflect, and grow. In this space, I share simple tips and journal prompts that have helped me improve my well-being and encourage you to journal, reflect, and apply it to your own life. As always, feel free to share the highlights from your reflections as well as any kind words in the chat. This is a space for growth and encouragement. Your comments might be exactly what someone else needs to hear today. I hope this space offers a source of inspiration, helps you take your next step towards a better you. It's exhausting trying to hold everything together. It's you against the world, and you overcompensate for the unknown by trying to plan out every single detail. But then life does its thing, and all your plans come crumbling down. You're someone who holds the world on your shoulders. You take responsibility for everything, even if it's not yours to bear. And you've come to the realization that this mindset isn't sustainable, but you're not sure how to change it. If this feels familiar, then this video is for you. Today I'll walk through an easy journal prompt that will help you let go of the need to control the uncontrollable and reclaim your power. You want control because it means you have some level of power over the situation that you're in. And you want power because it's so evasive. There's so many instances in your life where it's been taken away from you. But control is an illusion, and true power is letting go of the burdens that are not yours to bear. In any given situation, there's usually too many variables at play. On top of that, you're only ever seeing the situation from your perspective, which means that there's unknown variables that you may not even be aware of. Even if you do everything that you're supposed to do, there's still no guarantee that the outcome will be in your favor. This doesn't mean that you shouldn't try for a positive outcome, but it does highlight the importance of letting go of the things that are out of your control. When there's so many variables at play, it's not your fault for focusing on one versus the other or not realizing that one was more important than the rest. When this is your mindset, it's easy to fall into the should I do this to I should have done that anxiety loop. I've fallen into this trap many times. I want the new job opportunity, or I want the new relationship to work. So I hyperfixate on all the things that could go wrong, and then I place all the burden of it going wrong on myself. The anxiety from this worry ends up creating a freeze state that stops me from taking proactive steps to improve my odds or results in self-sabotage. I've also had instances where I've later realized I was worried for no reason. Regardless of whether the outcome was good or bad, worrying about it, which was my way of trying to control the situation, only brought more suffering. Worrying had no influence on the outcome, and if anything, just made my blind spots bigger. So how then do you stop this loop? The first step in letting go of the uncontrollable is removing your self-worth from the outcome. Even if you don't get the job, it doesn't mean you're not worthy of a good job. If he breaks up with you, it doesn't mean you're not worthy of being loved. You aren't the sum of the outcome. A negative outcome doesn't mean you've made a mistake or that you're not good enough. This is easier said than done, especially when you really want a certain outcome. The biggest thing that's helped me do this is focusing my attention on the journey instead of the outcome. The journey is where you learn and grow. The outcome is where you're critiqued and judged. Regardless of what the outcome is, there's always something you can learn from the experience. When the process is your focus, you begin to value your growth, and you see the value you receive from going through the experience is greater than the outcome. Instead of thinking, by applying for this job, the benefit is the chance to get the job, or by dating this guy, the benefit is getting into a relationship, think instead of the benefits of going through the journey. You'll get experience refining your resume, an opportunity to hone your interview skills, or you'll get a better understanding of what you need in a relationship. These things are just as valuable as your desired outcome, and when you shift your mindset, you'll see that they're in many cases even more valuable. They give you new insights into yourself and new skills to approach the next situation with. Putting the focus on valuing the journey instead of the outcome also allows you to put more value into the things that you can control rather than the things that you can't. You can control how you refine your resume and how you prepare for the interview. But you can't control how the interviewer views you, the other applicants who have applied, or if you're ultimately chosen for the job. Where you direct your energy determines how much power you have in the situation. If you direct it towards areas that you can't change, then you're giving it to someone else. If you focus it on what you can change, you're giving yourself the most power that you can in the situation. This is ultimately the biggest way that you reclaim your power. Now let's apply this to today's journal prompt. Start by reflecting on a situation where you're trying to control an outcome and deep down you know it's out of your control. Think about the areas in life where you feel helpless or overwhelmed. It could be a job application, a relationship, a health issue. Write about why this is worrying you. Why does it feel overwhelming? What does the outcome mean to you? After you're done journaling about its impact on you, it's time to write down the things you can and can't control. Draw a line down the middle of the page. On one side, write the things that you can control, and on the other, the things that you can't. You might have a tendency to write more things on one side versus the other, but try to create a list that's more in your favor. For each example of the list of things that you cannot control, write, I cannot control this, so I release it from my mind. For the things that you can control, write, I can control this, so I will focus my attention on doing this to my best ability. Treat this as an affirmation of sorts, your way of telling your brain where you want it to focus and what you want it to ignore. For the list of things that you cannot control, another strategy to release the hold they have on you is to write them down on a scrap piece of paper and then tear that paper up or burn it as a symbolic act of releasing the concern. If you find yourself worrying about the situation you journaled about, come back to the prompt you wrote and go through the list of controllables as a checklist for what you've done so far in order to manage the situation. As you read through the list, say, I've done this, I've done what is in my control, everything else is released from my concern. Take the rest of time to reflect and journal this prompt. I hope this is your first step in allowing yourself to release the burdens that are weighing you down. As always, remember to be gentle with yourself as you reflect and honor where you are right now without judgment. If today's reflection offered you any clarity or comfort, feel free to share it in the comments. Until next time, take care.